touchdowns, both on the verge of rewriting the record books. They'll probably just type it up. Brady has outperformed Pat's quarterback in every category since he got down to Tampa. Nick, I'll start with you. Is Brady and Gronk's success proving Belichick made a massive mistake letting them go?
I mean, I don't see how anyone could argue it's not turning out to be a terrible, grievous error. Now, I know folks are going to say, Nick, you were advocating for it. Yes, and I was clearly wrong. But the difference is, and one of the nice things about my job versus Belichick's job is, I'm allowed to be wrong. Like, I'm literally just giving my opinions, informed, hopefully, on things. Bill Belichick's running a team. And Bill Belichick, and this is what I want Coach to dig in on with me. We all know his philosophy, part of it has been, rather be early than late. That we're not going to pay for past performances, we're looking to the future. And in large part, that has served the team incredibly well. But I believe it is foolish to act like there is not an associated risk with that, which is you might give up or move on from a player too early. And folks, I think, Coach, folks are like, well, Brady chose to leave. He chose to leave because it was clear Belichick was wanting to turn the page and wouldn't make a long-term commitment to him. Gronk chose to retire. He did the year after Belichick tried to trade him to Detroit, and then Gronk had to threaten to retire to nix that trade. So I think given the fact that Gronk looks amazing, Brady is somehow aging in reverse, and the Patriots had to overpay for the tight end position and are grasping at straws at the quarterback position, I don't think it's a hot take to say this was a huge mistake by Bill that the fans and the owner didn't want him to make. He made anyway, and the Patriots are paying the price for it.
Yeah, I agree, Nick, and I thought this was a mistake when it initially happened. I feel like that this could have actually been compounded if they allowed that Bill to move on from Tom when he wanted to with Jimmy Garoppolo. Think about if that had happened and what that would look like. But finally they did allow him to move on from Tom, and it was over really a nominal amount of money. I think he was making $23 million in New England and got 25 from Tampa Bay, and they didn't want to make a multiple year commitment. So that's where it ended, and unfortunately it comes back to a guy who can change in so many ways, but really couldn't change his perception of Tom and couldn't change the way that he was going to operate the system. And I think that Tom wanted to stay. I think Tom wanted some concessions and some recognition and a few things that weren't unreasonable for a guy of his stature. But the system is the system, and it's easy to get caught up with how good a coach you are when you have really great players, and sometimes that can cloud your judgment and you make decisions that unfortunately come back to haunt you.
Yeah, I do agree with both of you that Nick, especially with the philosophy, all right, that's how Belichick's always done things, and he stuck with it. But I think this was an absolute mistake, and I think there's another reason, too. This is speculation. But I also think that Belichick was eager to prove that he could win without Tom Brady. There's always been that debate, is it more Brady, is it more Belichick? And we've seen executives and coaches in the past who've had great success across all the leagues, who've had great success, you almost get, I don't say tired of the winning, but you want another challenge. We saw Jerry Krause wanted to prove he could build a championship team without Michael Jordan. We've seen it elsewhere. And so I think Belichick wanted to show that it's not just Tom Brady. I am the architect of this. And I think, I picked them to make the playoffs this year, but I don't think they're going to win a Super Bowl. He may never win another Super Bowl. And as time goes on, this is going to look even worse, Nick, than it does right now. If Tampa Bay wins another Super Bowl, whether it's this year or next year, if Brady has, say, 3 more really good years left in him, and Gronk's playing well, and the Patriots are barely making the playoffs or missing the playoffs, then it's going to be a slam dunk in most people's minds that it was Tom Brady. Yeah, Belichick's a good coach, and it shouldn't worsen his legacy because Chuck Noll, Mike Shanahan, Tom Landry, we've seen all-time great coaches end poorly. All right, Bill Parcells, some others. So this won't ruin his legacy by any stretch. He's still arguably the greatest coach ever, but there won't be a debate. It was Brady more so than Belichick, and I agree with that. I think it always should be the player more so than the coach, Wild. So, but as time, this is not going to age well at all for Belichick.
Okay, so Broussard, I'm going to stay with you because what I said yesterday I think was taken as either a hot take or as Coach likes to say, I was trying to dim Tom Brady's light to make Belichick shine brighter. I don't. I just think that I look at football as having an infinite amount of decisions to make in the course of 20 years. And I think that Belichick was responsible for a far more of decision making than Tom Brady was. And to put it to movies, right? I think as we all like, well, he got game. It's Spike Lee and Denzel Washington. And Denzel was great. Do I think Denzel was a great actor? Of course I do. Do I think that he deserves more credit for that movie than Spike Lee? No, because he played a role in the movie. Spike Lee produced it. Spike Lee directed it. Spike Lee cast it. Spike Lee picked the sound. So when the movie is a success, the director gets the credit, no matter how good the actor might be. So the reason why I still don't think, I think it's Belichick deserves more of the lion's share is because there's literal plays Tom Brady's not involved in. It's not analogous to Phil Jackson and Jordan. Tom Brady is sitting on the sideline for half of the game while we had the best defense win the Super Bowl. Another time we had the best defense win the Super Bowl. Fourth time we had the best defense. That's Belichick. And people's like, well, the other argument is this. He's never won anything without Tom Brady. I guess. Are we not counting defensive coordinators as being like an important part to Super Bowl teams? Because I guess if that's the case, then let's not talk about Todd Bowles and the Bucs. Let's just not talk about. Let's not talk about Eric Bieniemy and orchestrating that Chiefs. Let's not talk about it. Because those 2 rings that he got with Bill Parcells count. So if we're just doing pure count the rings, it's still 8-7. So look, in a complex system, Belichick made more decisions and was responsible for more of the Patriots' success than Tom Brady.
All right, let me respond quickly before we move on to Coach Wiles. No way. We're not. Yes, he's got the 2 rings as a defensive coordinator. That's great. But we're counting head coach rings and quarterback rings. All right, and here's the thing. And nobody's saying Belichick's not a great coach, not a good coach, but he is a great coach. But the facts are the facts. He has coached 8 seasons without Tom Brady. He's made the playoffs once. One time. All that great defensive strategy and all that, he made the playoffs once. His winning percentage with Tom Brady in his career, 76%. Without Tom Brady, 43%. Even in New England with those Super Bowl teams, it was 77% winning with Brady, or 76%, and 47% winning without Brady. So, Coach, I'm not taking anything away from Belichick. I'm just saying Brady was the main reason. Belichick a big part of it, but Brady was the main reason.
Yeah, I don't think Tom Brady is who he is without Bill Belichick. And Tampa Bay inherited a finished product that developed over years and years, and Tom wasn't anywhere near the player when we first got him. And Tom's success and Tom and Bill's success together is unprecedented, and there's been other great quarterbacks that haven't